This one's going to be coming from r/ThreadTalk Podcast. If you guys have a Reddit-worthy Am I the Asshole or any other kind of story, go to r/ThreadTalk Podcast. This one actually got up to 172,000 views, only 245 upvotes, and it was posted 9 days ago.
Cool.
Title is, Would I be the asshole for invoicing my husband's great uncle for the cheesecake at our wedding? My husband, 21 male, and I, 23 female, recently got married with just under 300 people. My parents and my husband's dad and stepmom paid for the wedding. We had 300 cupcakes and 4 different flavors for our guests, plus a separate cheesecake specifically for my husband and me to cut. My husband doesn't like regular cake, but absolutely loves cheesecake. So a family friend who makes amazing cheesecakes specially made us one for our wedding gift. They only make them for special occasions, so this was especially meaningful to us, and my husband was really looking forward to having it at our wedding. For context, this family friend has also sold some of their cheesecakes for anywhere from $200 to $400, so this isn't something that would necessarily be cheap or easy to replace. The cheesecake was on its own individual table in the dessert area, separate from the cupcakes. The table had wheels so that it could be wheeled out to the dance floor for our scheduled cake cutting. Our engraved wedding utensils were sitting next to it. The venue workers were supposed to bring it out at about 10 to 15 minutes before we were scheduled to cut the cake. While my husband and I were finishing dinner at the head table, our wedding planner came over and told us that one of our guests had cut into the cheesecake. That guest was my husband's great uncle. He cut himself a piece using our engraved utensils and started eating it. Then our guest started taking pieces too. Our wedding planner realized what was happening and got the venue staff because they hadn't noticed or stopped it sooner. By the time we were actually able to do our cake cutting, only about a quarter of the cheesecake was left. My husband and I got a few bites before it was gone. When it was brought up to his great uncle afterwards, he didn't apologize or seem particularly bothered. He basically laughed and said something along the lines of, "Well, it was good." I honestly don't understand how you see 300 cupcakes available for guests and decide to cut into one cheesecake sitting separately on its own table, especially when the engraved wedding utensils were literally right next to it. I wouldn't say this ruined our wedding. We had an amazing wedding, and obviously there are much more important things than dessert. But it was our one and only wedding, and this cheesecake was specially made for us as a wedding gift because it was my husband's favorite dessert. We also can't just go to a store and replace it. My husband thinks we should let it go. His response is basically, that's just how that side of the family is. I, however, feel differently. I think people sometimes continue acting like assholes because everyone around them accepts it as, quote, that's just how they are. So, would I be the asshole if I actually mailed his great uncle an invoice for the cheesecake? I'm not trying to claim that he ruined our wedding or put a dollar amount on sentimental value. I was thinking of invoicing him for what a comparable cheesecake would have cost, since he essentially took most of something that was specially made for us. Would that be justified, or would sending an actual invoice just make me an asshole too?
Okay. I feel OP's pain, I think. I can see it from her side because I think the most infuriating part of this story
That was good.
is he didn't apologize and he doubled down and was like, well, it was good. That would piss me off. That would make me feel vindictive.
You're going to send an invoice?
I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't.
What do you mean? You stand up for yourself.
Me personally, I wouldn't send an invoice.
Oh, what happened to Tough Teresa? Tough Teresa got her hand smacked.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Teresa got riled up and had a confrontation and then regretted it. And it's all on our Patreon about our grass cutting guy if you want to know. But essentially, very recently, Teresa was overly confident and she was confrontational, and then she regretted it afterwards.
Yep, I had to be confrontational because my husband claims he's confrontational, but when it actually comes time to be confrontational. He wasn't.
Maybe that should tell you something. If I'm always confrontational and I'm saying, hey, maybe this isn't the confrontation, maybe I'm not willing to confront this, maybe that should tell you something about the situation.
You keep telling yourself that lie.
I will.
Anyways, no, me personally, I wouldn't invoice them. But I can see OP's rage.
Would they be valid for invoicing them?
I don't know, honestly. Like, it's not really their fault. Like, it's not their fault. It's your wedding planner's fault or the staff, whoever, like, wherever the miscommunication went. Like, it's someone's fault at the venue.
I was going to say, like, they had the cheesecake dessert. It's a dessert. It's a cake in the dessert section.
Exactly.
Beside the cupcakes.
Yes.
So, like, I get, like, to you, it's very obvious. Like, you planned it, you know, but to a guest, this is dessert for everybody. Huh, that's odd. There's a small single cheesecake. That's not enough for everybody. I should get a slice now before it's all gone because there's only a little bit of cheesecake. Why wouldn't they get more cheesecake at their wedding? Why is there only one cheesecake? What cheapskates only have one cheesecake at their wedding? I don't want a cupcake. I want cheesecake. So I'm like, to me, that's kind of like not that far out there that somebody cut into the cheesecake. And the whole engraved utensils thing, like, they're engraved. Like, that's very easy to, like, miss if you don't know what you're looking for. Also,
what did they say about the engraved?
They used the engraved utensils. They were right beside the cheesecake.
Yeah.
If you don't know that those are some engraved utensils, like, I feel like that's a very small thing, the engraving on a utensil.
Yeah, I don't think
like how is somebody going to know that exactly. Yeah. But I am surprised that you don't think that they should send the invoice. I know what's wrong here. Your wedding, your choice. The wedding's over. So it's no longer your wedding, your choice, because the wedding had passed. You
can. It's your choice to.
Oh, okay.
I'm advising against it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the rage would come from the reaction that he gave. Yeah. No remorse.
Where's the sorry? Oh my God, yes. I didn't realize. I didn't know. No idea. Yes, I'm sorry.
Exactly. Like, if this were me, oh my God, if I did this, if someone told me, I would immediately, the first words coming out of my mouth are, I'm sorry.
Here you go. It's back. I'll give it back to you. Let me get it back to you for a second.
I'm sorry, and, like, I will pay. That would be my first
Take
thought.
My wallet. Here's my kidney.
Yeah, I would do anything to make up for it. I would feel horrible. So, just someone's, like, reaction being like, huh? Well, it was yummy.
Yep.
Oh my God, I would see red. And then the husband be like, well, that's how that side of the family is.
I don't know.
Piss off.
I don't know.
Piss off.
Uh-oh. Top comment says, a small cheesecake in the dessert area, unlabeled and not decorated with bride and groom statue, does not say, quote, do not eat. You were foolish and totally at fault for your carelessness.
No.
He has no obligation to pay for your mistake.
OP's not at fault. How are they at fault? How are they careless? They're the bride and groom. Well, they're not supposed to be handling this.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's their wedding. The buck stops with them. They planned it.
They hired a planner.
They didn't plan that good enough.
This is the staff's fault.
They didn't plan it good enough with their planner. They didn't review this detail.
This is not OP's fault.
I'm not saying it's OP's fault, but I'm also saying that maybe it's not the uncle's fault because, like I was saying, it sounds like it's a pretty reasonable mistake.
Yeah.
Easily made. Like if you had like the little bride and groom, those salt and pepper shakers on the top that aren't salt and pepper shakers, they're just two little miniature people, and he cut into it, slap him upside the head, kick him out of the venue, kick him to the curb. But if it's just like a plain cheesecake sitting beside all the other dessert,
yeah,
I see how we got here.
I see how we got here too.
Yeah. But
I just don't agree with the top comment saying you were foolish and totally at fault for your carelessness.
Most of the comments are saying the same thing. There's an edit that says, adding some context, since there seems to be a few miscommunications in the comments, My husband's great uncle is in his late 50s/early 60s, and the cheesecake was kept in a refrigerator/cooler in the back until the wedding planner/venue staff brought it out for the cake cutting. It was brought out specifically to be displayed and cut, like a wedding cake. I was busy being the bride and assumed the venue staff had it handled. The cheesecake was made by an elderly family friend, and there's a very real possibility this was the last cheesecake they will ever make, so it was especially meaningful to us. The invoice was also more of a joke between my husband and me. We're happily married and aren't actually expecting his uncle to pay for it. His mom and stepdad even agreed we should send it and basically said that's just how he is. I think some of the reactions are based on assumptions that weren't part of the original situation, so hopefully this clears up some missing context. The venue/planner probably could have handled the cheesecake situation better, and that's fair criticism. And just to be clear, I'm not the only one who thinks his behavior was inappropriate. My husband and mother-in-law both agree with me. My mother-in-law says send the invoice, it's her uncle, but my husband doesn't want to cause potential family drama.
Yeah.
If you are going to send the invoice and you don't care about the money and it's a joke, maybe don't make the price like invoice for $300. Maybe make it for like $3 million. Something like outrageous that you kind of like know that it's a joke. You send it for 300, it's like not really a joke, kind of like a reasonable amount. Send it for 3 million. Like,
I like that.
haha.
Like you're getting your point across.
You're poking fun.
Yes. While like keeping it light.
Exactly.
I like that. That's a good approach.
Yep. All right.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I would have cried.
Yeah, just would have. Is that why you didn't want a cake at our wedding? Didn't want anybody to ruin the cake?
No, we had 20 people at our wedding. It would have been.
I still wanted a cake. I begged for a cake but it wasn't that important to me.
You didn't beg for it.
I asked several times, but it wasn't big enough that I was vetoing, being like, no, we're paying extra for the cake. I did express a desire.
Do you have regrets?
No, not
Okay,
no,
well.
no. It was amazing. It's a great time.